Right. So today we're going to deep dive into automation.
Okay.
Specifically, this thing called the automation first maturity model.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about this?
They have, yeah. It's
basically like a roadmap.
It is.
It's a roadmap for businesses that want to successfully integrate robotic process automation.
Yeah.
Which everybody's talking about right now, RPA.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like...
It's all about figuring out how to best use software robots, bots, to make work easier and more efficient.
Yeah. So I think everyone listening to this show has probably wished that they had a robot to do some of their work.
Absolutely. I know I have.
And it seems like...
Especially those tedious tasks, the ones that just, take up so much time and you wish you could just hand them off to somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what this is all about.
That's exactly what RPA is promising. And this model helps businesses figure out how to use those robots effectively.
Right. So there's like a process for getting to that point.
It's not just like flipping a switch and suddenly you have a fully automated workforce.
Right.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
And this model breaks down that journey into 4 distinct stages.
Okay.
Starting scaling, transforming, and extending.
Okay. So let's start at the beginning.
Sounds good.
With starting.
Yeah.
What is starting all about?
So the starting stage is really all about practicality.
Okay.
It's about demonstrating the value of RPA with these kind of quick wins.
Oh, okay.
It's
like proving the concept.
Exactly. Prove the concept, show that it works, and then get people excited about it.
Okay.
And at this stage, you're typically going to see departmental automation leading the way.
Okay. So what's an example of that?
So a great example is in finance. Maybe someone in the finance department automates their invoice processing.
Oh, right.
Or maybe the HR team automates some of their onboarding tasks.
Okay.
These are very targeted solutions with a clear return on investment, which builds momentum for wider adoption.
Okay, so we're not trying to boil the ocean here. You're just trying to automate a couple things.
Just start small, think big.
Yeah, and see how it works.
Yeah, and prove the value.
Okay, so who's actually building these automations in the starting phase?
That's a great question, and that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
So the model highlights 2 key roles.
Okay.
You have your RPA developers, who are like your automation experts.
Right.
They're the ones who really know the ins and outs of the technology.
Okay.
But then you also have what are called citizen developers.
Okay, what's a citizen developer?
A citizen developer is basically an employee who can automate tasks within their own department.
Okay.
Without necessarily having a coding background.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be like software engineer.
Exactly. You don't have to be a software engineer to be a citizen developer.
Wow. Okay.
And this is thanks to a lot of the really user-friendly tools that are out there these days.
Like what kind of tools?
So you have tools like Zapier, Microsoft Power Automate.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
These tools allow you to connect different apps and automate simple workflows using a visual interface.
So you don't need to know how to code.
Exactly. It's drag and drop.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've actually used those tools before to automate my expense reports.
Oh, nice.
It used to take me hours to do those.
Yeah.
And now it takes me minutes.
That's the power of automation.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
So, but once you have all these different automations running, how do you manage them?
That's a great question.
How do you keep track of everything?
So that brings us to the next stage.
Okay.
The scaling stage.
Scaling.
So in scaling, we're moving beyond individual departments.
Okay.
And we're focusing on enterprise-wide implementation.
So it's getting serious.
It is getting serious.
Yeah.
The gloves are coming off.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
So at this point,
At this point, collaboration between business and IT becomes absolutely crucial.
Yep.
You need to identify automation opportunities across the entire organization.
Right. So you've got to figure out where the bots can be most effective.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this where
that
thing comes in the
Robotic Operations Center?
ROC, yeah.
Or ROC for short, yeah.
Yeah, so what does that do?
So as companies scale up their automation efforts, managing all these bots becomes really critical.
Yeah, I imagine.
You need to make sure they're running smoothly, that they're not causing any problems, and that they're actually delivering the value that they're supposed to.
Right.
So the ROC acts as a kind of mission control for all your robotic processes.
Okay.
They ensure smooth operation. They track performance.
Okay.
And they proactively address any errors.
So they're like
the air traffic controllers of the bot world.
Yeah.
Making sure everything is running smoothly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your bots crashing into each other.
Exactly. You don't want any bot collisions.
All right, so the ROC is more than just like an IT department for robots.
It's more than just an IT department.
Okay.
The ROC needs a blend of technical expertise and business acumen.
Okay.
You need people who understand both the technology and the processes that are being automated.
That makes sense.
To really identify new opportunities and optimize the existing ones.
So they got to understand the business side of things too.
They absolutely have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you start small. You prove the value at the starting phase.
Yep.
Then you scale up strategically with the scaling phase. But where do we go from there?
Well, that brings us to the transforming stage.
Okay.
And this is where things get really interesting for the employees.
How so?
So in the transforming stage, the focus shifts to empowering employees to become what we call automation champions.
Well, like citizen developers, but...
It's like taking citizen development to the next level.
Okay.
It's about giving every employee the tools and the training to automate their own tasks.
Wow.
So they can free up their time to focus on higher value work.
So instead of like doing all the boring stuff,
exactly,
they can actually do stuff that they like to do.
Yeah, the stuff that requires creativity and problem solving.
Right. So this sounds amazing.
It is.
But I also imagine that this requires like...
It does.
A pretty big cultural shift.
It does. It's a huge cultural shift.
Yeah, because like not every employee is going to embrace automation, you know?
Absolutely. Some people might be resistant to change.
Right. They might be scared that the robots are going to take their jobs.
Exactly. And that's where leadership comes in.
Okay.
Leadership needs to communicate the benefits of automation very clearly.
Right.
They need to provide adequate training. And they need to address any concerns that employees might have.
So basically, you got to like reassure people that the robots are not going to...
You got to reassure people that the robots are here to help, not to replace them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you do that right...
If you do it right...
Then what happens?
Then this stage can lead to a surge in efficiency and innovation.
Wow.
Because people are empowered to work smarter, not harder.
Right. So they're not bogged down with all the boring stuff.
Exactly.
They can actually focus on...
The stuff that really matters.
The stuff that matters.
Yeah.
Okay, so this brings us to the final stage.
The final stage.
Extending. So this one sounds a little futuristic.
It is a little bit out there.
What is the gigabot economy all about?
So the gigabot economy is all about taking automation beyond a single company's walls.
Okay.
Imagine a future where businesses can hire each other's bots for specific tasks.
Okay.
Much like we use freelance platforms today.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, for example, let's say you need a quick data analysis done. Instead of hiring a consultant, you just rent a bot.
Oh, wow.
From a specialist company for a few hours.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're basically like creating a marketplace.
It's like a marketplace for bots.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all about making things more connected and efficient.
Exactly. It's about creating a more seamless flow of work across entire industries.
So like businesses are collaborating through their bots.
Exactly. The bots are doing the talking.
Wow, this is really painting a picture of a future where like work is totally redefined.
It is.
So what's the key takeaway here for our listener?
I think the key takeaway is that this model offers a framework for thinking about the future of work itself. It encourages us to see automation not as a threat, but as a tool for empowerment and growth.
So it's not about the robots taking our jobs.
It's not about the robots taking our jobs.
It's about the robots helping us do our jobs better.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a roadmap for both businesses and individuals.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's for everyone.
Okay. So what should our listener be thinking about?
I think the listener should be thinking about what tasks in their own job could be automated.
Yeah.
How might that change the way they work and the value that they bring to their organization?
So this model gives us the tools.
It gives us the tools.
To like explore those questions.
Yeah, to start thinking about the future.
And prepare for this future.
And prepare for it.
That's powered by automation.
Exactly.
All right. Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
To the automation first maturity model.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see everybody next time.
See you next time.
For another deep dive.
Bye.